Hello and welcome to another amazing read with me. I am Isabel Badell and I'm here to read another chapter of You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. We are on chapter 9. This is going to be a really short, sweet, to the point type of chapter. I can feel it. It's the loincloth man. And before I dive into this, I want to just remind our readers here, our community, that if you go to Instagram, Mind of Habit, that is our Instagram, and we are so excited to have you there. We would love to hear from you. We would love to, get to know you better. We're doing interviews, and we are on a mission to empower billions of souls worldwide to achieve personal and financial freedom. And on this particular channel, we're using books because we're committed to reading a book a month. And then in our community, we're committed to really cultivating a community where we can get together, connect, reflect on books, reflect on habits that are really creating a successful path to what we believe is freedom. So if you're into that, make sure to go to Instagram, Mind of Habit. We would love to connect with you. And make sure to follow, like, subscribe, do what you got to do. We would love to have you there. Now, without further ado, let's get into chapter number 9, Loincloth Man, by this amazing author, Jen Sincero. You Are a Badass. It is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not. André Gide, French author, Nobel Prize winner, fearless self-explorer. Every May I go backpacking through the desert wilderness areas of southeast Utah with two longtime friends of mine. It's one of the most magnificent and bizarre places I've ever been. Giant, jagged, obscenely pink ridges of rock jut out of the ground like huge slabs of raw meat. White, yellow, and purple towers of sandstone stretch and twist into sculptures made of taffy. Deep cracks in the earth's surface, from cathedral-like slot canyons whose walls, soothed over from flash floods and sandstorms, change colors from moment to moment as the sun's rays shift through the narrow opening high above. It's like the moon, only cooler. We merrily trip through this alternative universe, picking up colorful rocks, climbing around boulders, and arguing over the eagle or the snake or the mountain goat should be awarded creature of the day. Because my friends are such excellent navigators, we go deep into the wilderness areas where there are no trails and even fewer people. In the 16 years we've been hiking out there, we could practically count the number of people we've bumped into while backpacking on one hand. Which is why I was so surprised and dubious when my friend Tom, who'd gone ahead to find us a place to set up a campfire for the night, reported that he'd seen someone. I just met this really wild guy, he said, when I caught up with him. He was wearing nothing but a loin cloth and a headband. He was holding a spear, too. Said he'd been living in the canyon for 13 years. Was he riding a magic dragon? I'm serious. So where is he? He went off to check his squirrel trap, but he could come back. Tom is a lousy liar. And wherever he was taking this joke, he wasn't getting to the punchline fast enough. So I put down my backpack and started assembling my tent, only half listening to him. And after a few minutes into it, as I was bending over to hammer in one of my stakes, I looked through my legs and saw a pair of tanned feet in a homemade sandal, strong, naked legs, and a dead squirrel dangling by its tail from a fist. I stood up, spun around, and there he was, Loincloth Man. What Tom did not mention was that Loincloth Man was totally hot. He was somewhere in his late 30s. He was ripped, lean, savagely tan bod, and shaggy brown hair with a matchy beard. He fit the perfect part, modern-day Tarzan. slayer of buffalo and ladies alike, which, stunning as he was, instantly made him a little bit suspect in my mind. That and the fact that his loincloth was impeccably tailored and appeared to be made out of soft Italian leather, not some ratty canyon rabbit. Would you mind handing that to me so I can have a closer look at it, please? His whole deal was just a little too cliche. Couldn't he just worn shorts? And was he really going to eat that squirrel? Still, we gathered around him like a baby pig at the state fair, awestruck by our luck. This time, there was no argument. We had clearly found our creature of the day. He was real friendly and answered all of our questions at a slow, deliberate pace, explaining that this and several of the neighboring canyon systems where he made his home. He told us very matter-of-factly that he found modern society unnecessarily complicated and misguided, so much so that he preferred to live on only what nature provided him, storing his grain in the winter and sleeping in the cave. The thing that struck me more than the fact that he cut his hair with a sharp rock and probably wasn't wearing any undies was that he was totally unapologetic. There we were, all shifting around, feeling suddenly ridiculous in our expensive hiking boots and UV protective clothing, while he described how it took him weeks to whittle the bow and arrow he used to kill the deer whose hides now serve as his bedspread. Good for him, I thought, as I watched him walk away swinging his squirrel like a purse. He wasn't worrying about what he should be doing or what he was missing out on or what some chick from LA thought of his fancy crotch pelt. He was just happy, being true to himself, in the moment, in the middle of nowhere. I want to be like loincloth man. Love yourself, no matter who you really are. And that was it, loincloth man. So that is a very interesting chapter because, a lot of us, and we were just talking about this, a lot of us live in a society where expectations are put on us because of where we live or what we do for a living or, what is deemed to be a success. I feel like things are shifting. Because we have so much access to information, I feel like people are now celebrating different ways of living, different avenues, different understandings, different cultures, different lifestyles. I remember when my wife and I went to Thailand or to Asia, and it turned from a 1 month trip all the way to a 2 year stay. People thought we were nuts, especially because we built our first business in Thailand from the internet. How wild is that? Coming from a background where I went to architecture school, I had a 9 to 5, I quit that thing, and then I went off to follow my dreams. Shattering all those beliefs that are put on you, I think that's the first start to really going after what you will be able to fulfill in your life. Kind of like what she was talking about, there's no expectations unless you give them power to be expected upon you. And I do believe that we have the power to do that. So if you believe that freedom comes from you being free from people's expectations, limiting beliefs that were passed down through generations, lack of confidence, so people lash out and they do crazy stuff because of whatever is going on in the media, and they just regurgitate all the crap that's out there. That's not real. That's not what matters. What matters is what you believe in, and how you can become a better person in that journey and how you can help people along that path. I really do believe in that, and I'm very hopeful. I have a lot of faith in how the generations are shifting. You know, we're not in the 1900s anymore, you know. I have a lot of faith, I have a lot of hope for all of that. And with that, this is part 3. Now we have completed part 2 of this book, and part 2 was how to embrace your inner badass. So we're completed with that, and we're about to enter part 3, which is how to tap into the mother lode. And chapter 10, it's called Meditation 101. And I think this is going to be a really great chapter for those that do meditate. Come on in. Let's see what Jen Sincero has to say about meditation, because I know it's a very important topic. So I'll see you in the next video where we talk about all of that. See you soon.